Ever just stop and like watch a huge construction project? Or even just like a busy factory floor?
Yeah.
All those machines, right? But have you ever thought about the people who make sure they work right? Not just run, but run smoothly.
Impressive, yeah.
That's our deep dive today, Machinery Assembly Supervisors.
It's a lot more to it than you might think, for sure.
Right. We've got some great stuff from RoleCatcher today to help us like their whole career guide just on this job.
Hmm.
They say it's like overseeing the whole assembly process, but that's kind of vague.
Yeah, I see that.
It's like saying a conductor just like waves their arms,
Uh-huh. Right, there's a lot more to it.
Way more behind the scenes.
Totally. It's not just bolting parts together. You've got a team, production goals, got to fix things when they break, which they always do.
Hmm.
I remember early in my career, just a little miscommunication.
Ooh, tell me. What happened?
It was about a tiny part, seemed unimportant, but it messed up the whole production line for hours. Turns out, listening really well is huge in this job, and the data backs that up. RoleCatcher found like 57% of these jobs need it as a core skill.
57%. That's not just listening. It's like
Mhm.
knowing what's going to go wrong before it does. So it's not just like knowing your tools, right?
No way. You need the hands-on stuff. Yeah, production and processing skills, about 66% of the time, the research says, but you're also managing the people.
Right. Makes sense.
So administration and management are key too. Scheduling, inventory, safety, everything.
So you got to be like an octopus, then tech stuff, people skills, and this like sixth sense for problems. Where do these supervisors even work? Is it all factories?
You're right. It's not just factories, though that's definitely common. Think about construction, those huge machines, or transportation, conveyor belts, baggage handling, all that.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Even amusement parks, their rides are complex machinery, too. Anywhere that needs precise assembly, really.
That's wild. Keeps things interesting. But before we get into the day-to-day, I'm curious about the career itself. Can you just like walk into this kind of job? Or is there a usual path?
Great question, and it's good news for people looking to move up. Usually, you'd start hands-on, assembly worker. Maybe you even specialize in one type of machine.
Hmm. So you work your way up?
Yeah, as you get good, you might become a junior assembly technician that's more technical problem solving.
So you're like climbing the ladder, getting better as you go. That's cool.
Mhm.
There's a future there.
And it's not over at supervisor either. Get enough experience, show you can lead, senior assembly management's next, bigger teams, tougher projects.
Wow, so you could end up running the whole show, huh?
Could be. You might even be the one training new supervisors, passing the torch.
Now that's got to feel good, seeing someone else make it because of you. But gotta be real, even if you know the path, getting that supervisor job means interviews, right?
Totally, and those aren't always easy. Knowing what they'll ask helps a ton. A
Wow.
RoleCatcher's got some good examples, actually. One that trips people up is, how do you motivate your team to meet production goals? Sounds kind of basic.
But it's not just like work faster, is it?
Hmm.
Especially if good listening matters so much in this job, like we said.
Exactly. You got to figure out what makes your team tick, What's each person good at? Make it so everyone feels like they built the thing together. A good supervisor knows a motivated team. That's how you get stuff done right.
Makes sense. It's like a well-oiled machine in itself, the team.
Ah, good one. And speaking of, another common question is all about that problem solving. Tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot a machinery assembly issue. That kind of thing.
Oh, everyone hates those tell me about a time ones, but makes sense. You got to prove you can handle it.
Can't just say you're good at fixing stuff. Gotta have the story to back it up. Did you catch a bad part early? Save everyone a headache. Come up with a clever fix when something broke down. Those are the things that'll make you stand out.
So, quick thinking, staying calm, all while your team's looking at you to figure it out.
Speaking of standing out, how about we talk about the elephant in the room? Or the algorithm in the computer, I guess. Applying for jobs now, it's like, did anyone even see my resume?
Yeah, lots of people feel that way. But tools like RoleCatcher, that's what they're for. They got a whole thing just for getting past those robots.
Seriously, tell me more about this. Like, secret weapon. How's it work?
It's AI, but working for you. RoleCatcher, it reads the job description, figures out exactly what they want to see, skills, keywords, all that. Then it checks your resume.
Okay, so it's like comparing?
Yeah. Tells you if you're missing stuff or if you're not using the right word, like having a fancy resume writer, but it's a computer.
So you're speaking their language, even if you don't know it yet. Smart.
Right. Makes a huge difference. When they're looking at tons of people, having those right skills pop out, that could be what gets you the interview. Work smarter, not harder, right? Love it. Okay, so we've talked skills, the career. even how to get past the robots.
Hmm.
But beyond all that, what's it really like being a machinery assembly supervisor? The stuff a resume can't show.
Good point. It's more than just checking boxes, right? It's leading, solving problems, being the expert. Not just the machines, but the people, too.
So you're like building a team, not just a product, especially in a job where everyone's got to be on point, working together.
And don't forget that feeling when something goes right. You see that finished project. You made that happen. That's pride, you know?
Taking raw materials, turning them into something real, something people need. There's got to be some magic in that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but also kind of scary, right? All that new tech all the time. Got to keep up.
It's a lot, yeah. But that's what keeps it interesting. Always learning new stuff, new problems, new machines. If you like that, always being challenged, it's the job for you.
So not for people who like things to stay the same, huh?
Not really. Got to be okay when things change, be able to like roll with it. Because when something goes wrong on a big assembly line, it goes wrong big.
Makes sense. What about job security, though? With all the robots and stuff, that's got to be on people's minds.
People ask me that all the time. And honestly, it's the opposite. The fancier those machines get, the more they need us to keep them running. Building them, fixing them, making sure they don't go haywire. Robots making robots is a long way off, and someone's got to be in charge even then.
True. So a job for the future, especially if you can learn as you go.
Exactly. And it's not just a job either. It's like you built that thing. You're not stuck in an office. You made something real.
Yeah, you took these parts, raw materials, turned it into something people use every day. Kind of amazing when you think about it.
Totally. That feeling that you're part of something bigger, that's what makes it all worth it, you know?
I get it. Well, we covered a lot today, I think. The skills, what the career's like, even how to get hired, what it really means to be a machinery assembly supervisor.
Hope our listeners get it now, not just what you do, but what you can become.
Leading the way, solving those tough problems, building the future one piece at a time, literally.
Well said. And hey, maybe one of our listeners will be running things someday, right?
I love that. And if you're ready to get started, check our show notes. We've got those links. That RoleCatcher guide is especially good.
Tons of good info in there if you're serious about this career.
And no matter what, keep learning, keep exploring, right? That's what deep dives are all about. We'll be back soon with another one. Until then, good luck out there.